morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd just like to thank everybody for joining us both in person today and those who may be watching the live stream at home. Just a friendly reminder for those who are with us today, if you could please make sure that your cell phones are turned off, or at the very least just turned to silent so they aren't going off during the service. And your masks do need to remain on for me throughout the duration of the service. Unless you are speaking, we just ask that you come up to the podium, remove your mask while speaking, and then place it back on to return to your seat. Thank you.
I too would like to thank everybody for being here today and those also joining us on the internet. We're here today to offer support to Bert Gorringe as we reflect on the life of his wife, Julie. For those who don't know me, my name is George Gorringe and Julie was my aunt. Bert and my father, George, are brothers. I'd like to start with a quote from Irving Berlin. The song has ended, but the melody lingers on. As I reflected on this, I thought of the many songs I'd heard over the years. My mind turned to four lads in Liverpool: George, Paul, John, and Ringo. You may have heard of them. There's another name also associated with Liverpool: Julie Ann Green. Julie was born on September 5th, 1938, and grew up in Liverpool during the Second World War. It's so easy for me to picture her as a child, looking up at the sky, raising her tiny fist to the warplanes that flew overhead and saying, "I'm not afraid of you guys." Feisty. That's the word that comes to mind when I think of Julie. Feisty in the sense of speaking your mind, living life according to your own rules and values, and fearlessly protecting your family. At the age of 13, Julie, along with her father Ted, mother Alice, and two older sisters Pat and Pam, moved to London, Ontario. It was here where she first attended Prince Edward Public School. Can you imagine this young English schoolgirls' first impressions of those roughneck, hockey-playing, poutine-eating classmates? I can see her standing up in front of her classmates that first day and saying, "I'm not afraid of you Canadians." Julie came into the Gorringe family on June 21st, 1958. She married Uncle Bert in London. More than 60 years of marriage. A marvelous example of love and devotion. In April of 1964, Julie and Bert extended their family with the birth of their daughter, Carrie. In my old hometown of Guelph, there's a moving company by the name of Mike the Mover. Julie could have been the CEO of her own moving company, Julie the Mover. As Uncle Bert's career advanced, they lived in many communities throughout Ontario: Dorchester, Cochrane, Sault Ste. Marie, Owen Sound, Toronto, Port Hope, and back to London in 1996. That's a lot of moves. In between moves, Julie worked as a vehicle warranty clerk and as a proud homemaker. How cool is it to have an aunt that has a 1982 Camaro classic car show? Showing cars was Julie's favorite hobby. Attending the car shows with Bert and enjoying the opportunity to socialize with the many other car enthusiasts was a passion of Julie's. Julie also enjoyed her other hobbies of knitting, gardening, and was a whiz as a seamstress. I'd like to read to all of you a short poem. I can't credit the author because searching the internet, I couldn't find out who it was that exactly wrote this, but they did a good job. Light a candle, see it glow. Watch it dance when you feel low. Think of me, think of light. I'll always be here, day or night. The candle flickers out of sight, but in your heart, I still burn bright. In closing, I invite each of you to keep Julie alive in your memories. Julie lived a full and complete life, filled with joy and some sorrows. Julie will be missed by all of us, but not forgotten. Thank you again for being here today with us. I'd like to call on Katie Twells to read us a poem now.
So this is for my dear friend Julie. I also don't know the author, but it's called Her Journey's Just Begun. Don't think of her as gone away, her journey's just begun. Life holds so many facets. This earth is only one. Just think of her as resting from the sorrows and the tears in a place of warmth and comfort where there are no days and years. Think how she must be wishing that we could know today how nothing but our sadness can really pass away. And think of her as living in our hearts for those she touched, for nothing loved is ever lost, and she was loved so much.